we, Broody? Oh! Ow! What are you doing? Hi, Cora. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, well, it looks like I could have potentially 3 silkies going broody. They were doing this last night, same 3, all coiled up together, competing and sleeping together in that one little nesting box. Then this morning when I fed them, they all got up, which is not abnormal. But they're doing the same thing again this afternoon. So, broody mamas, that's what we want with those silkies. And it got me thinking, I've been meaning to film a video about why I have a YouTube channel now. Why we do what we do is pretty obvious, but there's also a reason behind it with, you know, social media and YouTube. And it might surprise you, might not. If you watch me enough, or if you know me well enough, you'll go, yeah, that sounds like her. But I think it's important to express this because I want it documented. So I have rabbit. I have a bunch of rabbits. Is your favorite movie like mine? One of my top 5 very favorite movies is Cold Mountain. And in the opening scene, right in the Civil War battle, right? You're down in with the Confederacy, and they're playing fiddles, and they're in between battle skirmishes and all of that, and a rabbit comes through, and one of these good old boys says, "That's breakfast," and they're all scrambling and running after that one little rabbit, or in Cherokee as we say, G-stew, running and running after, and then all of a sudden, boom. Every time I see one of these little rabbits around through here, I will tell you, I think that, and I think, I'm gonna have me a rabbit for breakfast, because it better not get in here. Now let me tell you what I have done, which I think is working. I think it's helping the dogs. Just bear with me, folks, that's on purpose. And I have put blood meal all around the perimeter of this side of the garden and the fencing, and I've put some floodlights. And they come out and they like stand there and look, and they go, smells weird, sounds weird, looks weird, I'm going back. So maybe it's working. So I'm headed to the barn and be cleaning up for the evening, and I'm going to be editing a video tonight on my 3 sisters gardening that I just did the other day. My mounds right down there. They're so cute. I love it, love it, love it. And so I've got several videos I need to edit and get up, and I get very anxious because I want to like edit all my videos and I want to put them all up at the same time. And there, you know, there's this whole thing about algorithm, and I'm not very good at following rules. You know, maybe if I followed all of these rules that a lot of other YouTubers do, maybe I would have a whole lot more viewership and subscribers and all of that, because I would be shifted out into the world of the algorithm better, and, you know, sit there and look at my reach and look at all this stuff. And I'm like, guys, I love you. I'm so thankful for the advice, and I probably should take it. And I do a little bit here and there, but I need to go. I've got a broody hen I gotta go set. I'm sorry. And this is the thing. So my goal, here's where I'm going here, is my goal of my channel, and don't take this the wrong way, but my #1 goal now for my channel, and this is how I am energized about it and focused on it and basically in love with it again, is because we're happy in general where we are. We love our new place, and there's so much going on, but my channel's not for you or for me. My channel, y'all think I'm crazy, but my channel, in my mind, when I come out and I'm filming, you know what I think about? I think about, what if in 100 years, 150 years, you know, what if I have a 3rd great granddaughter somewhere? and she's kind of kooky like me and loves all this stuff. And, you know, she wants to connect and she wants to know. And what did that crazy grandmother named Patara do? I heard she was this, I heard she was that, and I've seen some pictures. I know where she was born, I know who she married, and boy, I'll tell you what, Granddaddy was good looking. He was. Granddaddy James was good looking. But I want my future generations to have an access, hopefully, you know, to seeing who I am and who I was and how I talk and what I cook and what color my eyes are and, you know, that I love goats and chickens, you know, and that, you know, I can go off on a little bit of a rant every now and then, or, you know, whatever. I want them to see the things that I'm studying. I want them to see who I've connected to, who my elders were, the stories that I tell here and there, what I sprinkle publicly. They can go, you know, and it leads them on a journey, not just to be back to their roots, but to know who they are and what they come from. So while I'd like to tell you that you know, yes, I want to help people and connect with people, and I want to encourage you, and all these things are true. But the driving force for me now is serving little people that don't even exist yet, you know, and hopefully they will. You know, I hope to have a lot of gray hair. And I'm going to walk around with a wooden spoon. And I'm going to be out here at 93, you know, telling you how you should plant tomatoes. That's my goal. But, you know, even beyond that, isn't the idea of somebody down the road? I mean, can you imagine if you've done any work on genealogy? I have a few individuals that are in my tree. I never met them. My Nana met a couple of them, or knew a few of them, but even she was very young. And myself, somebody asked me today, they were like, did you grow up in this lifestyle? Yes and no. Yes and no. I grew up with some very old school women. And I was telling James this. This is the honest to God truth. We were driving yesterday and I said, you know, I've seen some articles being put out because I always talk about my Granny Harp. Anybody in my family, they'd probably laugh because she was, you know, she's really kind of simple, you know, and she served her husband and she served her family, and she's, you know, she was very loyal to her family, and she raised her children, and her one daughter actually, and her grandchildren and her great grandchildren and me. You know, I was the little great granddaughter running around, and you know, I was hanging out with really old women. I wasn't the cool kid in the neighborhood hanging out with all the girls all the time. I mean, no, it was not like that. I mean, for a very long time, my best friend was an 85-year-old woman. And I was telling James yesterday, I said, you know, I've seen one or two articles talking about people that were born around, like, say, 1900. And if they lived a full life, what all these people saw and what all they did. Think about it. They went through the Spanish flu. She survived. Family didn't. She did. You know, she was, you know, had a beautiful daughter, lived through the Great Depression, lived through World War II, lived through generations of things after that. I mean, if you start looking at that time frame, say you were born in 1900 and you didn't die till 1993, you know, think about what all happened from 1900 to 1993. And she lived and saw and experienced every single bit of it in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Okay? I mean, come on. And so this is the thing, is I grew up with this woman, knew this woman. She fed me. You know, when I was little, I was dropped off with her every day. Slept, I would stay at their house and sleep in the bed with her for 2 or 3 nights in a row. And she gardened, and all the things that you see us struggling to do, second nature. So I grew up around all of these influences, and all of and that in particular. And even my own father jokes with my mother. He said, look who she hung out with. And you wonder why she's turned out the way she did. So I think about these things, and I think about how kids and people have things today that maybe didn't have these types of influences for various reasons. And as we go forth, will they have these types of influences? Will they have a medicine man in their family? Will they have, someone that, did all of these strange and wonderful folklore ways that only we read about? So when we document these things on YouTube and we talk about these people, or we show these things, or we put you in tune with, 18th century ways and living and self-reliant skills, all I can think about anymore is I'm doing this for my grandbabies. Because maybe I'll have 1 or 2 or 20 that down the road they'll be proud of me more so than anybody today ever would. Think about these things, because what you're doing today is absolutely making a thumbprint on everybody in the future. 10 years ago, I knew that, but it didn't impress me like it does now. I think age, I think loss of family members, I think struggle, I think times changing, and just getting older in general makes us think about these things. So I appreciate you being here, and I am just tickled to death about how our channel is growing. It kind of baffles me, really, because I'm like, and the thing is I have to say, I look at some channels and they are just killing it. They're killing it. I don't know how they're killing it, but they're killing it. And I'm proud of them, and I'm happy for them. And, whatever's meant to come our way with our channel, so be it. Because I've thrown it up. I've thrown it up. And I want to enjoy what we're doing. Because, YOLO. YOLO. Call Medea and tell her I said so. Since I'm talking about Medea a lot in my videos, let's document that. Y'all go watch Medea. Mama Patara love Medea. Y'all go watch that. So anyway, but, you've got to reach back with what inspires you. No, I didn't grow up living in a barn, but I grew up inspired by men and women that did, and that held on to that, and that instilled that. And because that happened to me from birth and on up, and I think I have just a little bit of, their rebellious defiance in terms of we are going to make it in me. I think that that's just a combination for all of these things. You got to do what you love, and you got to be who you are. And this is who I am. Surprises people, maybe. I don't know. Shouldn't by now. But nonetheless, we're having a lot of fun, and we're living life. And even in hard times, and hard times that we very likely might be facing, we're going to go at it head on. Because that's what Granny did. And that's what inspires me. And so if that's what inspires me, and maybe you, hopefully it will inspire future generations if they look back and see what we've done now. All we can do is try. So guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Appalachia's Homestead. Seriously, we're growing a lot. And I'm really just, every day, I read comments to James, and we are just so touched by so many of you guys and your journey and the things that you're doing. And we get letters and different things like that. And there's just so many kind people. It's tough right now. And so we want to know that there's still a lot of goodness. And guys, there is. Just focus on that. And focus on the future generations. All right, guys, I'm gonna break. Let's go see what these goats are doing. So the sun's out. Hey! I'm trying to not overfeed these critters. How much lovey? Woo! Trying to not overfeed. These little babies love to eat, don't you? Come on, y'all. What you doing? Come on. Mocha, you are the most dramatic goat I have ever met, honey. What in the world? Drama. I'm gonna call you, your new name is the Drama Llama, isn't it? Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Did you see them? Red-handed, caught red-handed, there they are. I've got two different groups. They're here, I'm telling you. We're gonna do what we can here with these gardens. Guys, I appreciate you watching. See, if this is the year that Granny gets the gardens eaten by all the deer, the kids are gonna know that happened in the year 2020. All right? Guys, y'all take care out there. I love you. Thank you for being here. We have more videos coming. I'm gonna get this Three Sisters video up for you. We'll see how it goes. Y'all take care. We'll see you on the next video. Okay, I hear you, loud mouths.